Sunday. Welcome back to Doing It with the DeWitts. This is my 4th episode. I have some new subscribers, so thank you for joining me. What we're doing here is just meal planning and prepping for the week. My prepping doesn't consist of cooking up a bunch of meat. I like my meat to be cooked fresh on the day of. So we just kind of gather all of our materials, mix up what we can, and get things ready for the week so we don't have to worry about it. This week we are gonna have beef and broccoli with rice. That's today. Monday we're gonna have ribs with, I'm gonna make some greens and we'll have some baked beans and cornbread. I'm gonna do all of that other stuff on Monday, but we will prep our ribs today so they're ready to go. Tuesday we're gonna have a penne pasta with smoked sausage. Wednesday, we're gonna have breakfast for dinner. We're gonna make a Tex-Mex breakfast casserole. Thursday, we're gonna have a beef and vegetable soup. Hoping it's a little chilly, but not too chilly because we're ready for warm weather. Friday, we're gonna have a Mediterranean chicken. And then Saturday, we'll finish off with some bone-in thighs. I'm gonna make some stuffing or dressing, whichever you call it. And probably just make like some corn or something with that. So this is our mess of stuff. I tried to organize everything by day. We're just gonna dive in. Today for our beef and broccoli, I have some cut up sirloin. It's cut into strips. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut them in half one more time just so they're not such big pieces of meat. And then of course we will season them and we're gonna throw them at the bottom of our crock pot. We'll make a little broth to throw over our broccoli and our meat, and we'll pour the broth over everything. Just cutting our slivers of meat in half here. There. Nice size pieces like this. I got 2 packages because we are a family of 5. My 1-year-old son eats like a grown man, and my daughters barely eat anything at all. Okay, I've got all of our sirloin strips cut in half. So now we are just going to season them. I am still using up our pineapple teriyaki, our McCormick's that we've been using for 3 weeks now. I think we've had to add it to a couple recipes, but I'm not mad about it because it's so good. Excuse me. This is just our pineapple teriyaki. I'm spraying our meat with our avocado oil. I'm gonna dump this in our crock pot, the meat, and then season it so we're not getting our seasoning all over the table, which I would normally do. Just kind of tossing the meat in our crock pot, and we'll season it in here with our pineapple teriyaki. Just taking our pineapple teriyaki and generously seasoning our meat with it. Giving it a good mix. I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning to our meat. Giving it a good mix. That should be good. Okay, got our meat ready to go. I'm going to put our broccoli on top of that. I just have this bag of fresh broccoli florets. I'm just gonna cut these in half. They're pretty big. So I'm just cutting them down. Actually, I'm gonna quarter them. Change my other mind. I'm gonna quarter our broccoli and just throw it on top of our meat. Try any of my recipes from last week. If you did, I want to hear how they turned out. The creamy sausage tortellini that I made yesterday was so good. It was probably one of my favorites from the whole week. So if you made it, I want to hear how much you liked it, or maybe you didn't, but I can't see how you couldn't have. The flavor just turned out so good. And it was so easy. Like, I just threw everything in and it all just cooked up together so well. I'm just doing one bag of broccoli. Looks like it's just a 12-ounce bag of broccoli. I don't want to cut our broccoli up too much because it'll all just fall apart. I will be serving this just over some rice. So hopefully the broth that we put over this is really good. So it will season up our rice really nice. Almost done cutting up our broccoli. That piece is gross. I'm just gonna dump the rest of the small stuff in here. And then again, I'm gonna hit the broccoli with our pineapple teriyaki. I just have to find what I did with it. Aha. Oh, let's spray our broccoli first. Avocado oil. Pineapple teriyaki. Giving it a good mix. Mixing it in with our meat. Now, this recipe does call for sriracha, but I will not be adding it like into the mixture because I want my kids to eat this and not complain about how spicy it is. Husband and I will probably just top ours off with sriracha. And I'm lucky enough that my coworker Melinda made me some homemade sriracha to add to it. She said that it's a little spicy, so I'm really excited to try it. I also want to give a special shout out to Melinda for being my biggest supporter in doing my meal prepping and recording it for you all to watch with me. So thank you, Melinda. I'm really excited to try this. Okay, for our broth, let me see here. I'm just gonna dump everything in here and we'll mix it all up and then we'll just pour it over there. What do we need for our beef and broccoli broth? The recipe calls for beef broth, but I have some already open chicken broths in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those up. So I'm gonna do that. Just making some room here. Oh, that that was almost perfect. Just a little bit more. This is one of my passionate penny pincher recipes. Obviously, I'm spicing it up a little bit for our family, but I, as always, highly recommend that you check out Passionate Penny Pincher. They have so many different boxes and options for meal prepping and planning. They help me out so much when it comes to deciding what we're having for dinner and like trying some new things. We need some soy sauce. Soy sauce. I'm just a little short on my soy sauce, but we're out, so we're using what we got. Some brown sugar. I keep my brown sugar in the freezer. I don't remember where or when I heard that trick to like help keep it soft. I'm curious to how you guys store your brown sugar to keep it from going super hard. I've had this same gallon-sized bag of brown sugar in my freezer for probably a year. I just recently like got into baking. I've always like been big in the kitchen on cooking food, but I just started baking, so I started using a lot more brown sugar than what I normally would. Just packing our brown sugar down into our container. Oops. I'm gonna dump that in with our broth. We need some ginger. I have some fresh ginger left over from when I made some, what did I make? I made some Amish amoxicillin, and it called for ginger root and turmeric. So I am just going to mince up some of this. If I can open up my chef preserve bags. Side note, I love these chef preserve bags. They help keep my produce fresh for so much longer in the refrigerator. Do any of you use these or a similar product to help keep your produce fresh? I think you can use it for like freezing stuff too, to help get out like the air. Oops, gotta wash that. I'm just mincing up some of our ginger. I always have to make sure the catcher is the right way up, so I'm not just like getting my ginger everywhere. I sometimes forget to check, and then I'm just smashing it. Oh, I love the smell of ginger. Love it, love it. I didn't think that I would continue to like it after having 3 pregnancies, just because of like the morning sickness, and I utilized fresh ginger a lot, and I swore I would never be able to stand the smell of it again, but surprisingly, I still love it, and I'm happy because I still use it a lot in our kitchen. Hopefully that's enough. Perfect. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump the rest in there for the flavor. So many medicinal properties with ginger, it's insane. You can use it for just about anything. If you need to cure something, ginger can probably help. Okay, we have our ginger. You can add your sriracha into your broth if you want to. Like I said, I am not going to do that. Okay, we need some green onions. This is gonna cook with green onions, and then we are also going to garnish it with green onions at the end. I'm just gonna use 3. Using kitchen scissors makes this process a lot easier. But we use our kitchen scissors for like a bunch of stuff that we're probably not supposed to use them for, so I don't use them a lot when it comes to like actually cutting up fresh herbs and spices. Don't forget to keep your veggie scraps so you can make some broth. I'm just cutting up these onions a little bit finer. And we're gonna throw those onions in our broth. Okay, got our onions. We need some cornstarch. Help thicken that broth up while it's cooking. Let me see. Get some of this ginger out of here. I'm gonna rinse this off and dry it. Cornstarch. Oh, I didn't realize how low we were running on cornstarch. Come here. You say hi to everybody? Hi, we're still in our jammies today. You don't want to play with Barbies? You want what? Sit. I don't know what that is. You want to sit? Okay, here. Well, let's go to Daddy, okay? You want to go watch a movie? Okay, so we got our cornstarch, that'll help thicken up that broth. We got our broccoli. I am going to garnish it also with the green onions and some everything bagel seasoning. That'll be good. I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. Sesame oil. We need some sesame oil. Oh, Lord. Okay, I think I got everything. Oh no. Gosh, garlic. Gotta have garlic. I had to skip the sriracha, so now it's like throwing me off with my order. Always gotta have lots of garlic. Love it. Personally, I don't think that you could ever have too much. Okay, now hopefully we have everything. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this up and, oh, need my lid. We're gonna mix it up, pour it over our sirloin.
Yeah, because we're making it sweet.
And our broccoli, and we're gonna put this on low until dinner time.
So we can make it extra yummy. Because today we're eating food. So no time.
Thanks, Viv.
And make sure you press
Just
on
pouring
my
that
finger
broth
to add
over.
the tea.
Okay, Viv, thank you.
And
You're
my
so
mom is
helpful.
gonna cook it.
Oh, that smells so good. I can smell it through the camera. Just kind of making sure everything's coated really well. I'm gonna go ahead and get this crock pot going because it is what we're having for dinner tonight. So hang on just a second. Okay, I'll serve that over rice. I already mentioned that, but also a reminder to myself. Monday is our ribs. I really wanted to make some time to make some homemade collard greens, but it just didn't work out this weekend. So I will be using canned baked beans and boxed cornbread. If I had more time in my life, I would do everything and anything homemade, but I do not. Just putting this ginger back away. I'm sure I will be using the rest of it for something else later on. Okay, what do we got? My kids, even my daughters who barely eat, love ribs. So I have 2 racks. These are pork ribs. The one rack we'll eat for dinner, probably, and then some. And then Tori and I will have some for our lunches the next day. So I am going to switch out my cutting boards. And I'm going to get my baking sheet out. I'm out of aluminum foil, so I'm just gonna throw down some wax paper right now until I can go to the store and get some more aluminum foil. And that's all I have. No parchment paper, nothing else.
And my mom is a good cooker.
Thank you, Vivers.
You're welcome, Mama.
You're so sweet.
And I'm eating a ham sandwich, so goodbye.
Bye-bye. Enjoy your ham sandwich.
Okay, I will be after video for you, my mom.
Okay, baby, thank you. I'm just opening up our ribs.
Oh, good. For what? For what? I said for what?
For our dinner tomorrow.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, here's our first rack. I like to cut the like filmy, like thick piece that's on the back. And I'm talking like this side of it. I don't know if everyone does it, but I do. Yes, darling. Can you go see what your brother and your dad are doing in your bedroom? They're probably playing with your Barbies without you.
Well, I just wanted to say something in your video.
Okay, what would you like to tell everybody in my video?
I would like to say, give Mom's video a thumbs up. Because if you like her video, get a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like it. So make sure you like it and subscribe her channel.
Spread my channel. Thank you, Vivian, so much. For the record, I did not tell her that. This kid just be coming up with stuff all on her own. I love her.
Because I'm an excellent person and I'm super smart.
Okay, Viv. Go and get it, girl.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, lady.
Okay, I hate doing this, peeling off this like skin from the back. It is so tedious. I kind of just like put my knife under it and just try to get like a good start on it so that it pulls off easier, but it doesn't always work out that way. I'm curious if you guys do this or if you leave it on. Maybe I'm doing this for no reason. I think like many years ago when we lived in our old house, I forgot to do this and I just felt like the ribs were not the same. And it might just be in my head. Maybe it was like the way I cooked them that time. So our ribs, I start them off in the crock pot. So when I come home for my lunch, I will like roll them up a little bit so that they're in a ball. Excuse me. And I will cook them in the crock pot, and then when I get home, depending on the weather, I'll either finish them and barbecue them on the grill, or I will broil them in the oven with some barbecue sauce. My goal is to make some homemade barbecue sauce for this later. Ew. Okay, I got that nasty film off of the first one. Now we're gonna do it again with the second one. My eye itches and I have pork juice all over my hands. I'm just opening up our second rack of ribs over here over my sink so I don't get pork juices all over the place. I really need to itch my eye. Again, just taking my knife here and putting a slit on that back side to get that film up. Is it necessary or not? I don't know. You tell me. Oh my goodness. Every once in a while I'll get lucky and it just like comes off so easy, and then other times I'm struggling. So of course, because I'm here with you guys right now, I'm struggling to get this film off. Oh my goodness. There, sometimes it's just getting it started. And then if you get lucky, it comes off pretty easy. Not at all. Not coming off easy at all. I'm just trying to get my nail under here and peel this off. Yuck. I just got one more little section over here. Bear with me, I do not want these on my ribs, personally. Oh my gosh. Just this one section over here, so stubborn. I want to know what you guys are having for dinner this week. I hope that I've inspired you on a couple different ideas and we can talk about what you did, what you made. All right. I'm gonna rinse real quick. I am going to season these ribs with some, I think, brown sugar bourbon. It's McCormick's. Let me see what it is. Yep, brown sugar bourbon. I'm gonna spray both sides with our avocado oil and season both sides. Making sure to get the sides and not just the front and back too. Okay, I'm gonna rub that in. Oh, this smells so good. Rubbing it in, making sure that we get the sides. There's some good pieces of meat off on the sides. Okay, I'm gonna turn these around and season the other side. My wax paper is holding on to these ribs for dear life. Okay, spraying the other side. And seasoning. How do you lose a seasoning that you just had in your hand? Found it. The brown sugar bourbon pairs so good with ribs. Especially, I mean, it's good by itself, but once you put your barbecue sauce on after slow cooking these for a couple hours, so good. Seasoning and rubbing on our other rack, and then I will just set those aside, and we'll move on to our next meal prep for the week. If you're wondering, I did remember to take out the trash. So, okay, here's our ribs. Don't they look good? Yay. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. Throw this stuff away first. Now I'm washing. I will admit to you, like, sometimes this process does cause me a lot of dishes on Sunday, but it really is so worth it because I just knock them all out in one evening while my husband gives our kids baths, and that way I have less dishes throughout the week. That's my main goal here, is to make the busy work week easier. I don't have to think about what we're having for dinner. And it's ready to go. Okay, what's next? Our pasta. So, I'm gonna cut up our smoked sausage. I'm gonna put that in one container. And then in another container, I'll dump everything else that we need in there. That way we can just I'm gonna cook our sausage separately. So we'll have like our base in the crock pot ready to go for us when we get home. And then all I'll have to do is cook up these sausages real quick and just mix it all together with our pasta. And dinner will be served. So I'm going to cut up our sausage and put that in a container. I don't typically season my smoked sausage too much just because there's a lot of salt in it already, and it normally has like a pretty good flavor. Our base of our pastas will have a lot more like seasonings and stuff in it, so I don't want to overdo it. I have two separate containers or packages. I thought I had another knife out. Hang on, let me wash this one real quick. Okay. I am just slicing up our sausages, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw those in the container so they're ready for me to throw on the skillet. You could just throw these in the crock pot. This is just my preference. You could probably just throw all of this in the crock pot all at one time. I prefer to either cook these like in a pan or throw them on the Blackstone, as always, depending on the butter. I just think it gives them a better flavor than just throwing them in the crock pot. So like, we're gonna have some liquid in with this, so it would kind of be like boiling the sausages instead of like traditionally cooking them in a skillet. Again, you can season these. I'm just choosing not to, and I'm sure once everything is all mixed up together, you won't be able to tell. Almost done. Okay, I'm just throwing these in here so they're ready for us, and we will start cutting up everything else. Oops. I thought this would be a big enough container. It never is. Hang on a second. Hang on. I really thought that cutting up these couple things of sausage would fit in there. Silly me. Now that I'm saying I'm not gonna season them, my anxiety will probably force me to season them when I cook them up. I'm just gonna set these to the side. And we're gonna start cutting up our other ingredients for it. All right. Passionate penny pincher. We're gonna cut up 2 onions. I'm gonna throw everything in here. Veggie scraps. I just made, this is a new bag because I just made some vegetable broth yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was earlier on in the week. I don't even know. But I was grateful to be able to make that just from scraps. So good. I like bigger chunks of onion because I like onion a lot, so I'm just going to slice these, not dice. They usually cook up pretty well, like especially in the crock pot. They get small, they get really small. Ooh, sorry, the onions are getting me already. One onion. Oh my goodness. Strongest onions on the planet. Breathe through your mouth. Whew. Have you ever used the trick that you like have something wet next to you? Do you have any other tricks for me? I remember one time I was meal prepping a couple years ago, and I think it was like one of my family members. I know that they were totally kidding, but they were like, just smoke a cigarette. I'm like, is this a test? They were testing me. And I know that they did not smoke cigarettes. Just slicing up our second onion here. Two onions. We need some garlic. Ooh, I don't want y'all to see me crying from just two onions. Garlic. I think I used this for garlic last. Hopefully. Lots of garlic. I can't help it. It is so good. Garlic, we need some salt. Pepper. We need some oregano. This is just ground up oregano leaves. You can use what you have on hand. Some basil. Also, just some ground up basil leaves. This recipe does call for some parsley, but I've been out of that for like 2 weeks now. Thank God I go grocery shopping on Wednesday. And when I say grocery shopping, I mean picking up my groceries from behind Myers. We need some diced tomatoes. Dump the whole thing in here. These are just petite diced tomatoes, but I highly recommend using the Italian style diced tomatoes. They were out. We need spaghetti sauce. I just have some store-bought spaghetti sauce here. I cannot wait to make some fresh, homemade spaghetti sauce this summer and fall. I don't know how many cups are in this. not doing the math. We're just dumping it in here. Okay, so this one can is about, I want to say 2.5. So in reality, this recipe should just say 1 24-ounce jar of spaghetti sauce. So glad I did that. Now we know. And I will forget. So remind me next time. We need some chicken broth. I have some homemade chicken broth from our whole chicken that we made last week. Oh, it smells so good. So this is like equal parts spaghetti sauce and broth. Always pushing it to the limits with these containers. Oh, lucky for us, that was the last ingredient. So we will cook up our sausage and we'll throw our pasta into this mix here. Give it a good mix. It's ready to go. Oh my gosh, wrong lid. That's like the 3rd time I've done that. I'm just trying to clear some of our workspace a little bit. Okay, what day was that? That was Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday is our Tex-Mex breakfast. I think is it like a casserole? Yeah, it's a casserole, but we're cooking it in the crock pot. So, let me see. Another Passionate Penny Pincher recipe. Go check them out. I can't be giving away all their secrets. Okay, so our breakfast sausage, all I'm gonna do for the breakfast sausage is open it and season it with our smash burger seasoning. I'm not gonna cook it ahead. I will cook that when I get home from work and just mix it in with our mixture. I'm trying to open this. It would be helpful if I had the scissors. I do have the scissors. I have some bone broth cooking in the crock pot right now that smells so good. It's the bones from our whole chicken last week. So I was able to get a broth out of that. And like 2 different kinds of broths, just like from the liquid from it cooking and then the bone broth that I have going right now. I'm just gonna put this on here. I think it'll be easier for me to season it. I'm just putting it on our cutting board and trying to get all the sausage out. And then I'm just gonna put it in this mason jar. You really don't even have to do this. I mean, I could just season it while I'm cooking it. I just try to do as much as I can ahead of time. Try to get all the sausage out of here. opening up our other roll of sausage. Would you do this? Would you even season this meat, or would you just wait until you cook it? I'm curious if you think that this is like completely ridiculous, and it probably is. But I like to try to simplify the week as much as I can. I'm gonna take our smash burger seasoning, our McCormick's. We've been using this for a couple weeks as well. Smash burger, McCormick's. I'm just kind of spreading out the sausage a little bit. I'm just gonna gently like mix this into the meat. We don't want to over mix it. Just enough. A little bit more seasoning on the other side that we didn't like fold in. To put this in our container so it's ready to go. This is probably going to be a pain to get out. Oops, I just dropped that. We're throwing it in there. I'm trying not to like pack it too tight. I don't even know why I try with these smaller containers. I always think, oh, this might actually be perfect. It might fit in here. Never does. I just need to keep my big ones out. It's completely full. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna put like our eggs and our veggies and other stuff in there. Hopefully it'll be enough room. I think those plastic containers are bigger. I'm just too short to reach the other ones that I have up there. So we're making do, as we always do. Okay. We need a new cutting board. Got this small dinky one. We need 12 eggs. We need a whole dozen of eggs. Just gonna put the whole dozen in here. These are farm fresh eggs. I probably should have cracked them in a separate container just in case one of them was yucky. So far, I've been lucky. I hear you're supposed to do that, and I probably should, but I never think about it until I'm already balls deep in whatever I'm doing, so. All right, we got 12 eggs. We need onion. What did I cut with those? I don't think I got any of that sausage on this knife. Just to be safe. Just a reminder that every single night I take a picture of how this food turns out, whether it's good or bad. So far I've only had that Brunswick stew that was a little questionable, so that way you can see what it looks like, and I'll usually, you know, if I have anything that I want to add to what I did with it, to it, how I cooked it, or prepared it, or how I served it. Chop your onions up really fine for this. I'm not going to. I'm just slicing the halves as quickly as possible so you don't have to see me cry from these onions. My husband is a huge breakfast person, so he always gets extra excited when we have breakfast for dinner. We call it Brenner. Oh my gosh, strong. Careful, this is a slippery onion. There we go. Onion. We're gonna cut up one red pepper and one green pepper. Sorry, still trying to detox my eyeballs. Taking off the little stickers that they have to put on here. I don't know what's smelling better right now, that bone broth or that beef and broccoli already. I do have that on low because I don't want that beef to cook up and get too chewy. I don't want it to overcook, but I want it, you know, I still want our broccoli to be a little bit softer. That way the kids can eat it. I like my veggies a little bit, you know, more crunchy, but I try to do them softer for the kids, especially the little guy. Just throwing this in. That was a weird pepper. Like the top of it was like really thick. Get some of these seeds out. I'm gonna cut it in half and then slice my halves down. I am gonna cut these slices in half one more time just so they're a little bit smaller and cook up a little bit better. up our other half. Cutting those slices in half. This knife I'm using is like so dull. Okay, our green pepper. Get the sticker off. This one feels the same way, just like a really thick top. I don't know. It's hard to cut. Get those seeds out, cutting it in half. Slices. This knife is not it. I should have sharpened it. That was a long piece, so I cut that one in thirds. That red onion, or the red pepper was like a lot shorter, so I didn't have to cut it up so much. Cutting up our other half of our green pepper. We definitely are gonna have more green pepper than we do red, which is totally fine with me. That was a really thick piece, so I cut that into 4. Okay, we've got both of our onions in. We need some taco seasoning. Taco seasoning. This is just the Meyer. I still haven't been able to get around to making mine. Season with your heart. I am gonna add some additional seasonings to it. The lid just broke off. That's what I get for banging it up against this jar. On top of the taco seasoning, we are going to add some garlic powder. Some onion powder. Some pepper. Just a little bit of salt. Our taco seasoning probably has enough salt in there. We're gonna add some cumin. Try not to break this lid off. It comes out so slow. Some chili powder. Ooh, I want some paprika. Hang on a second. I forgot to get that out. Paprika. Some of our oregano. Some of our basil. Okay, what else do we need? We need some milk. You can get the milk out. Some milk. Milk. We'll top it with cheese. We're not gonna do that right now. We'll top it with green onions. We're not gonna do that right now. We're gonna add some diced tomatoes. Again, I recommend the Italian style, or I recommend like the Rotel with the green chilies, but I'm just trying to use up some stuff that I had left over from some other recipes that I probably intended on doubling and didn't, because it probably made enough food. I'm gonna dump this whole can of tomatoes in here. Do you keep your cans for your meat grease? Or what do you do with your meat grease? I want to know. Answer in the comments. Okay, you can also top this with cilantro. I did not purchase any cilantro to top it off with. I think we have everything that we need, like for the base of this. This will all cook in the crock pot. And then I'll just come home and cook up our sausage and mix it in with it, and some cheese. You'll want to add some cheese to this. Let me make sure I'm getting the right lid this time before I go looking ridiculous. And I will mix up these eggs when I go to dump them in the crock pot. Just trying to mix it up a little bit. Perfect. All right, moving on to Thursday. Okay, our beef and veggie soup. All I'm gonna do to prep for this today is cut up our onion, cut up our celery, and then I'm gonna season our beef roast. The vegetables you could totally do fresh, but to save me the time, I'm just gonna end up, after I cook up this meat, the onions, and the celery, I'm going to, sorry, I just realized that I forgot the hash browns for this. It calls for hash browns. I'm just gonna throw those in the day of this whole bag. Sorry about that. Okay, I got distracted. So yeah, I'll just throw in a bag of frozen mixed vegetables to this when I'm done cooking the meat and the broth. So we'll just like shred up the meat, throw in our veggies, in our broth, and we'll let that cook up for a little bit after we get home. I want to say for about 20 minutes to a half hour, and it'll all be done. So here we just have our roast. Let me dump some of this blood off. I'm gonna throw the roast and the onions and the celery all in the same bowl. I'm gonna season this roast with our roasted garlic. I think we used this on a chicken last week, but you can use it on whatever. Roasted garlic and herb, also McCormick's. We're gonna spray our avocado oil, season. I'm gonna rub this in a little bit and then I'll turn it around. Turn it around, avocado oil, roasted garlic and herb to season up that roast. We're gonna cut up our onions and our celery. Always 2 onions. If a recipe calls for 1 onion, I always do 2. I told you, I like onions. I'm just tossing our onions and our celery on top of our roast. Excuse me. Every Sunday I skip lunch and I prep these meals and I do these videos for you guys and I end up burping the whole time because I'm hungry. Good thing our dinner is in the crock pot ready to go and all we have to do is cook up some rice. I need to get a new rice cooker. I've had one for a long time and it took a crap on me. So now I've just been like boiling rice. I definitely love my rice cooker. Second onion. Cut up some celery, probably like, I want to say 4 stalks of celery. I clean my floors every night, so don't look at me like that rag is dirty. It probably is a little bit, but I at least cleaned my floors last night. This is some weird celery. It's just like very stringy almost. got these string pieces. We'll throw that in there. Like a lot of them. A lot. And the actual pieces of celery are very small. Oh my goodness. Just got celery juice in my eye. At least it wasn't onion juice. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5 because these pieces are so small. I don't know what that's about. And I have this small cutting board right now because the other 2 are dirty. I'm just trimming the ends off. I'm gonna try to cut a couple pieces at a time so it doesn't take so long. For sake of the video. I know y'all start to get tired of me. I started giving out the ideas like first thing in the beginning. That way if you don't really want to watch me do all of this, you at least have some ideas. And if that's all you get for my videos is some ideas for your dinners for the week, that makes me happy. Celery. I'm gonna have to clean some of these cutting boards probably after this. Smallest stalks of celery I have ever seen in my whole entire life. Annoyingly small. Y'all are gonna be shocked the episode in the future where I finally get some new kitchen knives. It'll be a miracle for both of us. Last one. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of our seasoning on the veggies as well. Probably not 100% necessary because it's all gonna cook up together, but we don't want no bland food up in here. Roasted garlic and herb. Just spicing those up a little bit. And that'll sit until we're ready for it. BRB. Okay, I'm gonna clean up some of these cutting boards because I know that I'm at least gonna need one for our last 2. So I'm gonna need 2. Hang on a second. So I told you about how I post every night on Instagram, but I forgot to give you my Instagram. It is mdoesit. So you can follow me on there for how all this food turns out. Okay, we're gonna do our Mediterranean chicken. another Passionate Penny Pincher. They gave me lots of good ideas this week. Try not to get the card all dirtied up. So for this, we need boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So I have that over here. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna put this in preparation. We're gonna try one of these. It might work out, it might not, it usually doesn't, but I'm gonna keep using these because I don't have anything else. I have a pack here of the family size pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. As always, I'm going to cut them in half because I do not like my chicken so thick. Hang on a second. I have my hair in a ponytail, but I still find it everywhere. I'm gonna cut 3 of these chicken breasts in half. Gonna trim off a little of the fat. I try not to trim off too much because I know that that's good flavor, but I don't want to like accidentally give my kid a piece of like really fatty meat and then they'll just never eat ever again. It'll just ruin it from there on out. I think this video is going to be a little bit longer for than last week's because I didn't have so many meals to prep, but I did give you some good ideas, so hopefully that did help at least. But yeah, we're actually doing some prep for everything this week, so I don't know if I'll be able, lucky enough to have it 40 minutes like I did last time. You're always more than welcome to fast forward. Trimmed off just some of the big pieces of fat. This is a really big piece of chicken. And it did not cut in half very well. It's all right, we'll give that one to the kids. At least it's a little bit thinner than what it was. It looks like the middle of it was a little like rigid. Okay, we've got our pieces of our chicken breast here. We're gonna season them. Yuck. Hang on. Almost missed that. I would normally be seasoning these with an Italian seasoning, but I had a packet of dry ranch seasoning left over from a recipe. So we are actually going to use that instead. I'm going to spray these. Spray them on both sides. I'm gonna throw them into our container. gonna dump some of our ranch seasoning in here. Again, you can use Italian, you can use whatever you want, but this is what I had on hand. I'm sure it would come across that I would be using ranch down the road, but I don't quite want to use the whole thing. I'm going to shake this up and see what it looks like, because I do want to add some of our other go-to seasonings in here. That looks pretty good on the ranch. I'm going to add some onion powder. Some of our garlic powder, paprika, always. Don't sleep on the paprika. Oregano, basil, chili powder, some pepper. I'm not gonna add any salt because that ranch packet probably has a bunch of salt in it. Okay, we need, of course we need onion, of course we need onion. Thought I had some onion out. Might have to grab an onion in the meantime, but we do need the rest of our Kalamata olives from last week's, what was that? What did we make? Italian chicken, and that was good. That turned out really good. I'm just gonna dump these in here whole. We need roasted red peppers. I had just had a jar of roasted red peppers. I just drained them, and I am gonna cut these up a little bit. Just slicing up some of these roasted red peppers. They come in like pretty big chunks. This appears to be about 1 pepper. So it was like 2 halves. Just gonna cut it up just a little bit more. We're gonna dump that in there with our chicken and our olives. I'm gonna have to go grab another onion. I really do not want to cut up that other onion right now. We need some, it calls for fresh lemon juice. I've been out of lemon since our lemon orzo chicken soup, so we are using this. Lemon juice. We put some garlic powder in there, but y'all know how much I love garlic, so I am gonna add some of our mint. Okay, and we'll top it with feta cheese. I have some feta cheese in the refrigerator. I gotta go get that onion and cut it up. Boom. For sake of time, I'm just gonna cut up one. Cutting up our onion. Sorry, this knife is like so dull. I'm trying to be extra careful. I don't want my finger to slip. And we're just gonna throw that onion in there if I don't lose half of it on my counter. I will either cook this chicken in the crock pot, or I might do like a sheet pan style. We'll see how I feel on Friday. It'll be Friday. Who knows what I'll be feeling by then. Either super energized because it's the beginning of the weekend, or super drained from the week. There's no in between. I'm just gonna shake this up. Ready to go. I'll probably serve that with some kind of noodle or rice and some vegetables, some frozen vegetables. We got a little bit of our ranch seasoning left, and I don't want to use up the whole thing. Okay, last is our bone-in thighs. I will be putting these in the air fryer. And then I'm gonna make some homemade stuffing or dressing. What do you call it? I call it stuffing. So all I'm gonna do is cut up, I'm gonna season our chicken. And then for our stuffing, I will just be cutting up some older bread that's been sitting in my refrigerator and our onions and celery. And I can either make the stuffing in the oven on Friday, or I can throw it in the crock pot when I come home for lunch. Wait, no, that's Saturday. I'll be here. It's weird. Okay, let me get this cutting board out of the way. That's dirty. I am gonna need something to store these on. Hang on a second. I always think every single week I feel like more and more prepared for these videos, but I'm always missing something. Again, I'm out of aluminum foil, so we are just going to use the wax paper that I probably had sitting in here for forever. I don't need the cutting board yet, so I'm just moving that up a little bit. These are bone-in, skin-on thighs, a family pack. I'm gonna season them. This is a mixture. I had some leftover Montreal chicken, McCormick's seasoning, and I had some smokehouse maple. I just mixed the two together, so we just made our own concoction of whatever we're gonna call it. I'm gonna season these up, move those to the side, cut up our bread, our celery, and our onions for our stuffing, and we're good to go for the week. Don't have to worry about dinner too much. Just trying to make some room. Okay, I'm gonna spray every single one of these thighs. Rub it in a little bit. I'm gonna take our seasoning that we mixed up. Season the front or the top. And rub it in a little bit. I'm gonna try to get the sides because I'm gonna flip these over onto our container or our sheet pan. Just trying to make sure the sides get real good. Some of these are like kind of tucked in each other, so I try to make sure that I'm getting the pieces that are tucked. Oh Lord. This wax paper is garbage. What do you even use wax paper for? The only thing that I can really think of off the top of my head would be like caramel apples. If you were to make like homemade caramel apples, what else do you use your wax paper for? I want to know. Because at this point, I'm just using it for a backup, I guess, for when I'm out of foil. Can you even bake with it? I don't think you can. I think that would be like parchment paper, right? Y'all need to educate me on this wax paper right now. We're gonna have just enough room on our sheet pan. This was a smaller one. I used my big one for our wraps of ribs. Okay, spraying every single one of these thighs and just seasoning the other side. Rubbing it in a little bit. Good to go. I'll be cooking these in the air fryer. Okay, lastly, I'm just gonna cut up our bread and our celery and our onion for our stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the onions and the celery out of the way. I don't even want to. I think every single thing that I made today had some form of onions, which I don't mind. I really don't, but I'm tired of cutting them. I'm gonna cut up our onions and celery and just put them in this container. So that way I just have to throw them in there when we're ready to go. 2 onions for this one. I'm not sacrificing my onions for my stuffing. I am going to dice these instead of my long slices. I'm going to dice these up. I haven't had any stuffing since Thanksgiving, so I'm really excited for this. I really love my homemade. I was always a stovetop girl, and then I made it for the first time just this year, and I will never go back to stovetop. Never. Onions. In our jar. I do prefer these mason jars, which is why I struggle with having enough room all the time. Because they're like longer, so everything fits better in my refrigerator if I can get everything to fit in these smaller and the bigger mason jars. When I cut up our bread, I'm just going to leave it out on my counter so that it dries up. I'm just gonna cube it up and leave it sitting out on my counter. And really, I don't have to do that on the video. I could probably cut it right now. But just in case, I'm using some like loaf bread that I had and some hot dog buns from our slaw dogs last week. I had 3 buns left over from that, so I'm going to use those up too so they don't go bad in my refrigerator. I do think that my kids have been pretty decent. They're in their room playing with their dad. I do think that they are ready to come out. I hear one of them crying. So I'm gonna end the video. I'm cutting up my celery, putting it in here so it's ready to go. And then I'm just gonna cube up my bread. I have this little container. I have this container that I'll leave out, and my bread will be ready to go for our stuffing. So sorry I rushed this towards the end a little bit. I hope that you got some really good ideas for dinner this week, and I really appreciate you guys being here with me. I mean, I'm gonna do this regardless, but it makes it a little bit more fun and nerve-wracking to do it for, I mean, basically the whole world to see, anybody that wants to see it on YouTube. So thanks again for joining me today. Please tune in to my Instagram, mdoesit, for how my food turns out, how I cooked it, what I served with it, and I will see you all again next week. Thank you.